Hey, welcome into the round pen, second day with this little Appaloosa gelding named Neo. And my game plan today, three things I'd like to do if all goes as planned, is number one, I want to put a snaffle bit on him and just let him wear it. Number two, I want to put a Surcingle on him and let him wear it. And then number three, I want to do a pretty serious round penning session where however long it takes, and to get him to drop his head, lick his lips, and show me some signs of submission. I don't do a whole lot of that kind of stuff, but I usually like to do at least one session with each horse, just so they can know that it can be done. Okay. And so the issues that I saw yesterday, it's not bad, but he's a little bit pushy with his shoulder. One of the really good things, this horse is not the least bit afraid of people. So even when I put pressure on him, he doesn't get scared. Okay, so that's a really good thing. It's going to allow me to do some stuff. So let's start off with the Surcingle here and see what we can do. And I haven't warmed him up. What you're seeing is all we've done. Okay. All right, so first thing, I did not do this yesterday. I'm going to this rope under his belly and just, I don't know if some of this has been done before with him or not, but I didn't think it would bother him too much. He's kind of looking at me like, what are you doing? Doesn't seem to be overly concerned about it. Good. So I just wanted to make sure before I put that on him. Good, all right. And I have found over the years, if you'll put a Surcingle on a horse for a day or two before you saddle them, then they are much less likely to buck with the saddle. Because a lot of what causes a horse to buck with the saddle is the pressure around their tummy. Okay, so he's handling that fine. Doesn't even seem to notice it's on there. Good boy. Good boy. All right. So he's doing better from yesterday and not trying to violate my personal space. Seems like he kind of learned something yesterday. I'm trying to get this fairly snug here. All right, there we go. Okay, let's try the snaffle bit. Okay, and you can see he's a pretty tame horse. Wants to follow you around. Okay. This is just a full cheek snaffle. No reins on it or anything. And I won't do anything with this other than put it in his mouth today and probably for several days. I'll just have him carry it around and get used to packing it around. He says, okay, what's that? Okay. Approach and retreat. Don't just come at your horse like a predator and force something on him. Let him, especially when it's new, let him look at it, think about it, figure out it's not going to eat him. Okay, don't jump on me. I just want to make sure he's not in any way afraid of this thing. That he doesn't feel any like it's going to come and do something bad to him. He doesn't know what it is, of course. Okay. That's good. So, Emily, did you teach him to drop his head? Have you taught him to drop his head?
Yeah.
Okay, thought so. Good. So she's taught him to drop his head. His owner's right outside the pen. She's actually going to probably come in and help me here in a little bit. Okay. All right. Okay, good. All right. Approach and retreat. I kind of don't want him to think that's a permanent thing. We're going to put it in, we're going to take it out. Good. Good boy. He's doing quite well here. And he's curious, so he's kind of nibbling at it. I'm going to let it come out. Good. So, folks, if you've watched any of my videos, you've heard me say this over and over, slow is fast. If I take an extra 10 or 15 minutes and do this the first time right, where he's not afraid, he doesn't feel like we're trying to trap him or anything like that, then we won't have any trouble bridling this horse for the rest of his life. But if we get in a hurry in the beginning and force them to do something, then they're going to hate it forever, or at least for a long time. Okay? So patience, patience, patience. He's doing great. And, you know, could I have done it faster? Yeah. This horse is pretty easy so far. Could have done it faster. But I need to think ahead and help him handle all the stuff that's coming in the future. Okay? All right, so I'm going to tighten it up. Yeah. Okay, it's in the highest hole. So I didn't anticipate this headstall is just not quite long enough. So I'm going to do a little jury rig deal here. Pull it up and then just fix it like that. When I first put a snaffle bit on, I want it pretty tight. I want it high in his mouth, high enough that he cannot easily get his tongue over it. I don't want him to get in the habit from the first day of sticking his tongue over the bit. And I have found if you'll do it this way for the first 2 or 3 days, just keep it really high in his mouth, then he won't get that habit and it won't become a problem later. All this stuff is just things you learn trial and error. Okay, so he's doing what most horses do when you first put it in their mouth. He's chomping and, you know, kind of playing with it. All right. Now, Emily, come on in. We're ready for our round pinning session. Okay. All right. And as much as possible, I'm going to have Emily do this. Number one, she needs to learn how to do it. And number two, it's hot out here and she's young and I'm not. Okay? So, I want you to point and get him trotting. And if he doesn't trot, when you point and kiss, you spank the ground. And if he doesn't trot, then you spank his tail. And I mean hard. Okay. Okay? Kiss. Spank the ground. Okay, that's fine. He went the wrong way, but we'll let him do that for now. Okay, so just keep him trotting around, and I'll predict within about 3 or 4 minutes, he'll forget about that bit. Right now, he's thinking more about the bit than he is you, but he'll forget about it here in a little while. Keep him moving, okay? All right, ask him for a lope. Kiss and spank the ground. Okay. He loped off pretty nice. He loped off nicer for you than he did for me yesterday. If he slows down, whack him. Okay, now when I say whack him, you're not going to hurt this horse. It's not even possible with that little string you've got there. But he needs to take this seriously. Okay. All right. We're going to go about 3 or 4 rounds and then change direction. So you're going to step in front of him, back up, back up, back up with me. Back up, back up, back up, step in front of him. Okay. Okay, so I didn't like that at all. No. All right. So I want him to understand. Let me step in here. He needs to turn in. Okay. And I can't remember yesterday which side I was having trouble with. One of them he was doing it, one he wasn't. So I'm going to step in front of him. Watch my finger. All right. So I'm asking him right there. There he did it. Take the pressure off. As soon as he looks at me, I'll back up, take the pressure off. Then I'll come in here and point and say, we're going to go this way. That was actually pretty good. The reason, now he loped off, but he did it kind of with his, like he didn't take me seriously. Today is about, when I say do it, you better do it. Right now. Right now. Do it right now. Okay? I'm not mad at him. I'm just going to insist. Okay? I'm going to step in here. Ask him to look at me. He didn't. Ask him to look at me. He didn't. Okay? Keep moving. So I'm going to be a little aggressive with him today. I'm more insistent. I told you he'd forget about that bit. Yeah. Because I gave him something else to think about. We got work to do here, all right? Now I'm going to step in front of him. Ah, see him trying to turn away from me? I think, so he doesn't want me to switch sides, does he?
Oh, no.
That's the way it appears anyway. Okay, now I'm gonna back up. I do this with my fingers, it's a cue, but I'm also trying to get his attention. Okay, look here, look here. And if he gives me anything, if he gives me any sign that he's gonna turn toward me, right there, see how quick I moved?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm a grandpa, I can move that quick, so can you. Okay? Come here, buddy, there, right there. Okay. There. So I'm training him, turn into me. All right. Okay, let's see if we can get him to change directions without going the wrong way. See what he did with his head? Yeah. So he's gentle, he's curious. There. Okay. All right, you take over. Take the stick, get him loping. Move him out. Spank. There you go. Good. Good. He's got a nice long stride. Might be a future barrel racing horse here. And this typically takes anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour to get a horse to drop their head and give you some serious signs of submission. But, you know, for the second day, this is really good progress. You've done a good job preparing this horse, Emily. He's ready to go to work, you know. He's handling kindergarten pretty well here today. Okay. All right, let's let him slow down and walk and see what he does with his head. Just drop your energy a little bit. Let's see if he'll drop that head. But keep him moving. Don't let him stop. But if he wants to walk. Yeah, I thought he might drop that head down. Just keep him moving. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Can't tell if that's the fly or what. Okay.
His head is staying lower though.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a good lick and chew with his head down. So we're pretty much getting it. Ask him to trot real gently. There you go. There's your submission. See him touch the ground with his nose? Okay. So that's him saying, okay, I'm going to go with your program now.